I started a podcast to deal with it. And we are off.
Hello and welcome back to the cancelled podcast. Okay, this is not the cancelled podcast, but it's somewhat of the cancelled podcast if the cancelled podcast was just Hannah Mojo and she lived in Cape Town. A lot has happened since my last podcast, and my last podcast was really stupid, let's be real. Okay, I was sick, I was coughing like 50,000 times in the video, so I apologize for that, but it's also like so cold. I'm still underneath this bunk bed, but it will soon change. Okay, it'll change. Last time I spoke about comedy and like, well, I was kind of procrastinating about what I was gonna do with my life, and now that I somewhat am doing something that's kind of paying well, hashtag ONLYPAINS. So I went to a comedy competition. I was like a fill-in for somebody that couldn't make it, so they were sick, so I only had one day. Like, they told me on the day, like, oh, can you still come, whatever, and I was like, okay. So I went, and then I kind of bombed, and it was like really embarrassing, but like everybody said that they loved it, so I was like, why didn't I go to the next round then, you asshole? But I have completely stopped writing comedy since, because I was like, oh, this won't affect me and my goal and dreams and whatever, but it has, and I haven't been writing comedy since, because I'm like, oh, well, if y'all didn't like that I still do want to do comedy, so I'm like, I need to do it. I just need to fucking write comedy. Like, shut up and just do it, you know? In the time that I last spoke to you, I applied for a job in Dubai. Thank God I didn't get it, okay? Because I went there, there were so many people there, it was really fun. I was actually kind of like getting a little bit excited, okay? But then they said no, and I was like, well, you know, you can't do OnlyFans in Dubai, so it's because I am making more than I would have made in Dubai, and that says a lot. I made the OnlyFans account, and it was doing so well. I mean, it's still doing really well. Do I want to do that forever? No. Being so stupid about it because I'm not even trying. Like, I'm not even trying to write comedy, even though that's what I actually want to do. I don't know if anybody else does that. I feel like everybody does that. Like, the one thing that you actually want to do, and you're really like, you like just want to do that, and you just procrastinate the whole thing, so you don't even end up doing it. But I plan to move out in like January, December vibes, so that I don't have to live under the. So grateful that I have a roof over my head, but does it have to be this close? But I want to talk about what happened in 2023 and 2022. Okay, because I kind of brushed over that like slightly. I won't get into all of the gruesome details, but I'll give you a lot more than the last one. I moved to Gardens to study. Okay, now we all know how that went. And I kind of just like got too comfortable in the sense of I was going out all the time. Like, I wasn't taking it seriously. Like, after a while I went to a mental health clinic for the second time, and I was going like out 5 days a week, and I made it snow, if you know what I mean, 24/7. So because of all of that, I made some awful friends. When I finally got the chance to go back to college to study again the next year, because I got a deferral basically saying like I was pardoned because I was having like a mental health issue, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, got it. And then because of that, I kind of just like I got too comfortable again, and it was just like a whole vicious cycle. Things were happening again. I was making it snow every fucking day, and it was like a really gross time in my life. And I apologize for everybody that knows me, knows that person, and I am no longer that person, okay? Yeah, I fucked up big time, and because of all of those fuck ups, it led to like more fuck ups. And then I met a lovely lady who was my best friend, and she introduced me to seeking arrangements. Now, if you don't know what that means, I'll tell you what it is, because I don't want you to do it ever. It's low-key illegal. It's very illegal, actually. She told me about it, and I was like, oh, what's this? And she was like, well, like brushed over what it actually was. She was like, well, yeah, you go on dates with guys, and they'll like give you like Gucci bags and like holiday vacations and an allowance, and you don't even have to do anything. That was the first of many lies, okay? You don't have to do anything is crazy. I signed up and I went on my first date and I hated it. I hated every second. I didn't want to do it, but then in the same breath, I was like, I don't want to go back home, because I was so stubborn to come back home. Like, this was like my last resort. Like, not even my last resort. It was actually not even like an option to come back home. Like, I wanted to be so independent and so like, I just wanted to be free basically of like anybody and everything, and I just thought that this was like the only way I could do that. And do you ever go to the clinic? Take it fucking seriously, okay, bro? Making arrangements got really, really addictive. I was on the fence about it because I hated every second of it, but then I was able to pay my rent in like a second. That's what was going through my head. I was like, okay, like I just have to do this, and then I'm like fine for the rest of the month. But that wasn't always the case. Like, sometimes you just wouldn't get somebody, or sometimes it would be like a really, really long wait. Sometimes people don't want you, and that's like also another thing that really fucked with my head. Like, doing this, and like even doing this, sometimes nobody even wants you to do that. And that was just when it all fucking came crashing down. I was now 2023 in March. I was living with new people. I was paying their rent. Like, I still had some money. And when I say trust fund, okay, I did have a trust fund, but not the fucking trust fund that you think I had. I had a trust fund because my mother passed away, and so she gave me all of her money that she left me, and that was my trust fund. Not even a fucking trust fund, okay? Okay, there is no trust fund, baby, over here. Alright? But anyway, so some of the money that was still left there, I still paid for my rent, like, regularly. But then I was, like, kind of still doing this on the side. I was still going out. Like, I'm still going out. I'm still fucking snowing every fucking day of my life. Like, I don't remember guys' names when I wake up in my bed with somebody. Like, I didn't know anything, like, at all. Like, if you came up to me and I'm like still like, I haven't been sober. Like, there wasn't a time where I would like wake up so fresh. No, I was either hungover or drinking again. Like, that was the state I was in, okay? So this one lovely morning, I wake up and I want to die. So, apologies to that one person, because I know you know. So I went to this person's house at 4 in the morning. And I don't know why I went to this person's house. I know exactly why I went to this person's house. I had placed my worth in somebody that absolutely does not give a shit about me. And I think a lot of people do that as well. So, don't sue me. Didn't answer. I mean, did answer and said, go the fuck away. Like, go home. Like, what are you doing here? And so I was like, okay. This was after coming back from modular. I'm not joking. I was literally living in modular. I come back home and I'm like, okay. Well, that was my last straw. I'm like sitting in my room and I'm like really, really sad. I'm thinking about my mom that passed away. Like, oh, like I feel so sorry for myself. Like, that whole situation. Like, when anybody feels sorry about themselves, it's just that. And then like times by 10 because you're also depressed and whatever. I'm like sitting in my bed. I'm like, fuck, I need to do it. And also, remember that guy that was in my bed? I had to get him an Uber home. So he was still in my bed when I went to this guy's house at 4 a.m. I know. Sue me. Back, this guy's still fucking sleeping in my bed, alright? So I'm like, get the fuck away. Get up. I need to die. And you cannot be here. You cannot be an accessory of murder. Please leave. And so I get an Uber home and whatever. My roommate comes down. She's like, what are you doing? Like, I started doing something to my legs, alright? And she came and she was talking to me. She was really, really nice to me. And she was like, Rhiannon, just go to bed, sleep. She just came back from night shift as a doctor as well. And I'm like, I'm literally on the couch. Anyways. So she comes down, bless her fucking heart. I think she's seen absolute, like, the worst of me. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Megan. I really love you. She comes down and she's like, I obviously go to bed. I didn't actually go to bed. She went to bed though. I can't physically hurt until I'm like actually about to be broken. Like, that wasn't enough. I'm so sorry if this is triggering anybody, but I needed to speak about it. I'm just in my room and I'm like, this isn't enough, and I need to actually like hurt. I need to hurt a lot. So I did the thing on the arm. Obviously I failed maths and like horizontal lines are not vertical lines, and like I just did it all wrong, you know? So like there was a little thing over there and it was supposed to go the other way. To be fair, I didn't actually want to die, and that kind of stays with me as well. Like it kind of reminds me as well, like you didn't, even while you were doing that, you didn't want to die. Like you didn't actually want to die. You just wanted to, you wanted some attention, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with asking for attention. That's literally like nothing wrong with that. Just actually ask. Don't hint about it. Then I start doing the deed, and it goes a little bit too crazy, and there's a lot of blood, and I'm kind of fucking scared. And it starts, sorry, trigger warning if you are scared of blood. So it starts like out of my arm, and I'm actually like, I'm stressed and I'm really scared. And I just remember like my roommate saying, you need to lose 5 liters of blood to actually like die. And I'm like, how much is 5 liters? Thinking to myself, and I'm like, it's probably nowhere near that amount, but I'm still like, okay, you know, like I should probably do something about it. Anyways, and then I called my stepmom, and she's like fucking sleeping or whatever. It's probably, yeah, it's 5 a.m. now. She comes, and bless her, my roommate is still sleeping, and I'm like, fuck, she's literally a doctor. Like, she's literally a doctor, Rhiannon. Anyways, my mom calls the ambulance. I'm like, it's not that bad. I'm literally bleeding out. So I have like this, like, hello, I have a towel that I wrapped around it just so like it can like stop. So the ambulance is there, and I'm like making fucking jokes with the ambulance. I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? I'm not even kidding. Like, I swear to God. And then finally my roommate comes down, and she's like, Rhiannon, we spoke about this. The ambulance was like, well, it's gonna cost you a lot if we take you to the emergency whatever, and then they're gonna put you in like a suicide watch and whatever, and then they're gonna put you in like something else, and it's just gonna be like my doctor roommate was like, had the brilliant idea of just, she was literally just like, she can stitch it here, like she'll stitch it at home. She's fucking stitching me up, bitch. And I'm like, fuck, okay. And this isn't even the end of this, okay? This isn't even the end. I'm still in this house, and now I'm like, okay, things have got to change. Fast forward 2 months, I'm pregnant. Fucking pregnant. Felt like I was in a Mamma Mia movie, because 1, 2, and 3 were very possible fathers. I was like, okay. And then I kind of figured it out, and then I figured out who it was, and guess who it was? The guy in my bed. How do I know this, you might be asking? Well, I figured it out. I figured out the time, the date, the possibility. So I found out it was this guy. Do I know this guy? No. Do I have his number? No. Do I have his name? No. So what do? I didn't even think about him. So obviously I killed it. The most pain I have ever had, and I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. Okay, so these pills that they give you, they're like, okay, you can take it at home, whatever. Like, no warning, nothing happened. Worst pain of my life. I'm back at fucking square one. Because before I was like, oh, I don't have to go to the clinic again. Like, that's just, it's okay. I'm fine. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. Boy, was I wrong. Got involved in the wrong friends again. Shocker. Went to modular fucking 24/7. And then my trust fund ran out. So, I mean, any guesses as to what I was going to do now for money? June. Started doing that again. I've left out a very, very core detail of what happened. Still doing the thing for money, and I've just told everybody that I haven't, and I'm lying to everybody, and I'm not proud of this. I'm just smiling because it makes me feel very uncomfortable. I stole a lot of money from my roommates. And to this day I'm still like, it's very embarrassing to say out loud, but I did, and I did pay her back, so thank fucking God. Yeah, I stole her money, and I was in the worst space of my life. I'm not making excuses for this. What I did was disgusting and rude, and like it was just a slap in the face, really, for the person that was like really there for me through everything. I just, like, I don't know. What really pushed me to come back home was when my roommate told my mom. And I told her I want to come home. I didn't tell her anything, and then my roommate said, you need to tell her everything. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't, and then she did, and then I was like, oh fuck. Then my mom took me to a clinic again for the third time. I'm so sorry, mama. And that was that, and now I'm here, and now I'm happy, and I'm alive, and I'm happy. I told everybody everything. I told my therapist everything. She would literally come to me like and tell me like, like, why are you feeling sorry for yourself? Like, you shouldn't be feeling sorry for yourself. Like, you should get over it and move on. And I was like, okay, taking her seriously. And then I did, and then everything just changed for me mentally and like physically. And lying right now makes me want to throw up. Like, I don't want to lie ever again, and I never want to do any of that again, ever again. So here I am. Now I'm doing OnlyFans. I guess it's not like the best transition, but I am doing so much better than I was, and I'm so grateful for everybody in my life that helped me, and even the friends that weren't so great for me. Like, I'm so grateful that I met them. It shaped me to be whoever I am today. So yeah, I'm just like really happy. I'm really happy. I'm also taking my meds every day, so let's be honest, it's probably that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. That's basically the past 2 years of my life that have been insane and crazy and a little bit frightening for every single person that has touched my soul and my life. I'm sorry, but also, so yeah, that's me. Slay. Podcast 2 done. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. If you want me to touch up on other things in my life, because I have a lot of stories about the crazy life that I used to be a part of. Cape Town is really gross, and the men are scary.